Coffee break with me. Woo! Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today I have another episode, installment, coffee break with a decluttering, and today I thought we would declutter my palettes. Now, honestly, I haven't even thought how we're gonna start doing this, how we're gonna do it, where we're gonna start. I have no idea what, I don't know what to do. Because I'm scared that this is gonna be a very painful decluttering for me. I've been on like an eyeshadow palette kick recently, especially because of the holidays. You know how all those palettes come out. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna zoom you into where I have my palettes, and we'll kind of just go from there. Because, geez, I don't even know where. Let's just get started. So this is the very first cubby in my collection, and at the very top I just have two MAC palettes that have eyeshadow singles, so I'm not going to let go of any of these because these are custom palettes. I made them myself, so don't make something that you're going to get rid of later. So I really enjoy these. They're pretty good for when I don't want to think too much about what I'm doing. They suffice. They're enough. I have some palettes in here. Let's see. I never use this one from Wet n Wild, so I'm going to go ahead and toss that one. I really like this one. This is the Comfort Zone palette. So this is a really great one. This is the Petal Pusher. One of my very first tutorials was with this palette, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that. I was a little disappointed with the way that this palette performed. This was a limited edition Wet n Wild palette, so I'm going to pass that one on. It's not bad, it's just not really life-changing. A friend of mine gave me this. I looked for it for months and months and months, and you can't find this in Texas, I'm convinced. She sent me hers, and I really like it. This is a beautiful trio. I don't usually like Almay products. This one is a absolute hit. I love this trio. Then we have these two trios from Wet n Wild, Sweet as Candy and Silent Treatment. These are really popular eyeshadow palettes, but I never use them. And there's no sense in keeping something because it's good and everyone likes it that you personally yourself never use. So I'm gonna pass on those. Actually, we're doing pretty well, aren't we? All right, moving on. Let's move on to this spot over here. This is my Tarte Rainforest After Dark. I love this. I'm not letting go of that. Then in here we have, what is this? My NARS. Oh, this is the Kawaii Duo. I really like this as well. It's a really beautiful duo. My Kat Von D Ladybird palette. I don't think they make this anymore, and it's one of my favorite palettes ever. Absolutely favorite. I don't know why they discontinued it. It's a brilliant matte palette. Then I have my two Smashbox Santigold palettes. I'm a little confused about these. I don't know if I should keep them or let them go because they're very unique. I appreciate the packaging. I love that they were limited edition, but they're not something that I reach for very often. So I'm gonna have to think about those. So I'll put those right there at the top so I could see them. Then I have my Naked 1 and 2. I don't like the Naked 2 palette, but I feel it's like a good resource to hang on to in case I ever, you know, have to do a dupe video or anything like that. Below it, I have the Naked 3. I have the Lorac Unzipped. I love this palette. I just never use it. I feel so bad holding on to it. It's a beautiful palette. I feel like I need to keep it with the purpose of trying to use it more often. And then the Revealed palette is from Coastal Scents. You can tell I gave this palette a lot of love when I first got it. This is a palette that has a lot of duplicates between my Naked collection and this Lorac palette, but I feel like it's a good resource to hold on to because I'm a vlogger. It's always good to have alternatives to more expensive products in your collection because let's face it, not everyone that's watching can afford high-end products, so it's always good to have a resource available of a more affordable alternative. So I'm going to keep that. If I wasn't a vlogger, I would let go of the Lorac Unzipped and the Revealed palette, FYI. Then I have my Lorac Pro To Go. I love this little guy. This is a really awesome palette. I really, really like it. If you're not that into makeup, but you want a palette that's gonna basically cover all your bases, that's a good one. In here, I have my Lorac Glow Getter and Afterglow palettes. These were limited edition palettes that came out this summer. I did a video on them. I liked them for a minute, but I haven't used them since the summer. So let's see. I mean, I obviously don't need to keep both, but I don't even know if I need to keep any of them. I feel like, remember I was telling you guys in that video that I feel like I got bamboozled? Like they're the same palette, they just move the colors around. I actually really like this one, the one that has the bolder shades. This one is called the Afterglow, so I'm going to keep that one. And this is the Lorac Summer Glow. I'm going to pass that one on. Someone's going to be a very happy camper. This is a brand new palette. I got it at the makeup show and I haven't even used it yet. Then the limited edition Anastasia Lavish palette. Really pretty palette. I would keep this palette just for the orange soda and pink sapphire eyeshadows in here. Then I have these two from the Sharon Osbourne and Kelly Osbourne collection. To be quite honest, I hauled these and I never used them. So I have to use them at least once and then decide if I want to keep them or not. And if not, then I'll have to, you know, find those a new home. But, you know, I don't feel comfortable letting go of something that I haven't given a fair shot to. Down here, I have my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I really like this palette. Then I have my Sonia Kashuk, what is this? Jewel of an Eye palette. This was a limited edition palette. I got it on clearance at Target for like $6. I really love this palette. Really pretty colors. And then I have the Smashbox Heatwave palette. I got this at a CCO at such a great discount. I almost lost my mind because I never bought this when it originally came out and I was so sad about it. But you guys look, it is brand new. I haven't even swatched it. It's almost like I acquired it and I was like, check off my list. I'm okay now, I can survive, but I have never used it. So I need to make a point to use that. I have all these little Jouer quads. They're not even used. Can you see that? This is a little duo. I don't know why I call them quads. I think because they connect. They're like little Tetris blocks and they connect. So I'm going to pass that one on. That one's brand new. I feel like I should do a giveaway with all the brand new stuff. You see those three? Two of them are brand new. The only one I've actually swatched is this pink one. They're all brand new. I mean, how much, you know, even if I wanted to use these a lot, it's really hard to. This one right here is brand new. I swatched these two. They're really great eyeshadows, but you can see the size of these eyeshadows. I mean, they're as big as like Inglot shadows. I could never finish them. And they connect. They're like little, of course I can't separate them when I'm on film, but they separate into little blocks like this one. So you could travel or make your own set with them. But again, I never use them, so I'm going to pass all of these on. That feels successful. What's in here? And then I have my Lorac Pro and the Too Faced Love Sephora palette. This is one of the very first things that I got to review for my channel. One of the best investments I've ever made. I love this palette so much. Not only for nostalgic reasons, but it's just a phenomenal palette. I really like it. Unfortunately, it's not available anymore, but if you were able to get your hands on this, treasure that little piece. Just these two more cubbies and we are done with palettes, so that's good news. So let's see, these are glitters, so we're not going to do that. And then these are the Inglot blushes and Inglot shadows. We're not getting rid of those. Even if I wanted to, I can't get the shadows out of the palette. I tried using the magnet and the corner of the lid and all that stuff that you told me. I can't. Like, for some reason, I'm like magnet. In this little letter holder, I have my electric palette. You guys, I have never used this. I haven't swatched it. I've never used it. I should be ashamed, but I figured it was pressed pigments, bright colors. I'll need it on some occasions sometime. Then I have the Meet Matte Nude palette. This is a great palette. I really like this. I don't think I would ever let this go, even if I don't use it that often. It's just such a beautiful palette. It's not neutral, it's not warm or cool. It's like a neutral matte palette. That's kind of hard to make. So the Balm really nailed this. I'm not a big fan of the Balm palettes, but this one is pretty awesome. And then I have the Patty Dubroff Perfect palette. You guys, if I ever fangirled on someone, it would be on Patty Dubroff and probably like Candy Johnson. Patty Dubroff is just a genius makeup artist. She's absolutely unbelievably talented. She did this palette. I prefer this one over the Stila in the Light palette, just to give you an idea. So this is said to be a dupe for that palette. I prefer this one 10 times over. Plus the names are really awesome. And the palette is like $20 at Costco. So get yourself that if you don't have it already. I don't know, guys. I don't think we're making very much progress here. Then I have my large palettes in this section right here. And this is the Smashbox palette that I hauled for my holiday gift guide for the palette lover. Was that what it was called? Eye lover, something like that. I really like this palette. I can't wait to use it. This palette is from Tarte, and it was from their winter collection last year. I have never used this palette. In fact, this shadow down here, Tater nicked it with his finger. He like scratched it, and that's it. He's touched this more than me. I've never touched a single color in this palette, and every time I look at it, I think it's so beautiful. I'm gonna use it tomorrow, and I never do. So I feel like this needs to find a home of someone that's gonna love them. So I'm gonna pass that one on. Then I have my Vice 2 palette, never letting go of that. This is the Balm's Bon Voyage palette. It's a really good palette to have, but it's kind of one of those palettes you forget to use. I'm not a big fan of their cream products, but the collection of shadows that's here is really pretty. It's a good balance. You have really good neutrals, cool tone, warm tone, pops of color. It's a really good palette, so I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to try and use it in the next, I don't know, couple weeks. If I don't, this is going to be another one that I pass on. When I went back home to San Diego last week, this is the only palette that I took with me, and this is a few of my favorite things from the Too Faced Holiday Collection last year. I actually prefer this one over the one that came out this year. I like the shadows more. I love the array of blushes and bronzers. I don't know, I find myself reaching for this one. I don't just remember to use this one around the holidays, if that makes sense. Then I have the Vice LTD palette. Honestly, you guys, I'm pretty sure I'm going to resell this. I'm almost certain that I'm going to resell this palette because it gives me anxiety. So this I don't know. I look at this palette and I don't get inspiration. I don't get inspired. It's a collector's item. I don't even know if they're going to relaunch it like they said they would. So I swatched 2 of the eyeshadows in this palette. That's it. That's all I've done. And I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. It gives me so much anxiety seeing all the colors just mixed in there. I don't know. Maybe I'm being weird. And then I have my Vice 3, which you guys know how I feel about, so we're keeping that. This is the Wonder Vision palette from Smashbox. If you go to a CCO and you find this palette, grab it, pay for it, run to your house, and put it in a secure location, because this is one of the best palettes that you're ever going to find. I actually saw it at my CCO just a month or 2 ago. They still had it in stock. This is one of the best palettes that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. It has 4 face products, beautiful eyeshadows. These are just the same quality as the eyeshadows in this palette. Those really, really soft, rich, buttery, pigmented shadows, but not crumbly. They're not so soft where they just break apart and you could, you know, an eyeshadow bully like myself would ruin them. No, they're just delicious shadows. So this is going to go in my bank lockbox. And then the 2 others that I have here, this is just a custom Z palette that is completely a wreck. All of my You guys, I don't like when you depot stuff and it's not a good enough magnet for, you know what I mean? Like the magnet isn't good enough, so you have to like add your own magnets and stick them on and use double-sided tape, and oh my gosh, it's so annoying. But I just have some Wet n Wild singles in here and some eyeshadows from Essence and Sephora. I depotted them with the purpose of saving room and space, but now I forget to use them, so I don't know how I would pass that on. Obviously, I don't think I can. I would if I could, so that would be something that I would pass on. The last palette that I have is the Sephora Pantone Universe limited edition palette that looks like a MacBook. It looks like this. Like that. There we go. It looks like that. I made such a stink about it when this palette came out. I liked it so much, but I never used it, and I feel like it's so big. I don't have room for that. You know, nobody has room for this. It just takes up way too much room. I don't know what to do with it. I like it, but I feel like my real estate here it's prime real estate, and I'm running out of room. So I'm probably gonna pass this on. I wish I could like, I wonder if I should do an Instagram sale again, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm getting rid of. But that is it for my palette. So those are all the palettes that you guys can see behind me. But what you guys don't know is in this Alex unit down here, I have 2 drawers where I keep product that I need to review, that I purchased or hauled and I haven't used. And I keep it there because it reminds me that those are brand new products that need to be tested. Now, I have eyeshadows in there. So I hauled this palette a couple months ago when Tarte was having a sale. I haven't used it, I haven't swatched it. So this is a brand new palette that I have. That might end up in a giveaway or something one of these days because I can't see myself using anymore. Then I have these 2 little palettes from Essence. I really like these. I swatched them, but I haven't had the chance, I haven't had the time to play with them. I have my little Smashbox Full Exposure palette that I hauled. I was so excited when I bought this because it's miniature. Let's be real. This is a miniature full exposure palette. It just has 8 of the colors that are in the full size palette, but it's the size of a credit card. So when I got this, I was really excited. I haven't used it. It's not swatched. I haven't even smelled it. So that's another brand new palette. And then I have my Sleek collection. Sleek had a 30% off sale. And so I was like, I'm ordering internationally. I might as well make shipping worth it. I'm not gonna order from Sleek again, so I might as well take advantage. And I haven't used any of these palettes. Sleek eyeshadows. If you live internationally and you can get Sleek, you're so lucky because Sleek products are so awesome. Sleek products are like drugstore prices, but the eyeshadows themselves are so pretty. They're beautiful. The metallic-y glitter ones are my favorite, but look at how beautiful these eyeshadows are. I wish my camera would do it justice and it would just, you could see the richness in the color of all of these palettes. They're absolutely brilliant. I think each of these palettes is like $8. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's really, really affordable. So that's my Sleek collection. I know you guys are probably wondering like, hey, I've seen other stuff. How come you didn't show it to us? So all of that stuff is here because there wasn't room over here, or it's brand new and I just haven't used it. Well, that's basically the reason I haven't used it, so I keep it there to remember. And then the other thing I wanted to do is make a point to say that I have too much stuff. I have it because I'm a vlogger and I'm fortunate enough to receive free product and things like that, but it gets to a point where it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not sensible, you know, it's not smart to have so much stuff. And I know that a lot of times I joke around like, oh, it's for research purposes, which it really is. I want to do a good job at being a great beauty vlogger for you guys. But at the same time, I want you guys to know that I have realistic expectations, and I want you guys to as well. So a month or 2 ago, I received the LA Girl eyeshadow palettes, the Smoky Nudes, Ultraviolet, and Neons. and I can't possibly use these palettes. So I had already planned out to do like a swatch video or a tutorial on these palettes. Instead of doing that, I think the more sensible approach would be to give them to one of you guys that could really use them or enjoy them. Even re-gift them to someone for this holiday season. So if you want to enter for a chance to win these 4 palettes, check the description box below. I'll have all the details listed there. I just want one of you guys to enjoy it more than I would. You know, I have too much stuff, and I almost feel guilty. I don't know. Is that weird? I hope it's not. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Decluttering. I was going to take a break and do it after the holidays because I have so much on my plate right now, but so many of you were like, more, please. So, you know, I aim to please my pandas. I love you guys so much. So check the description box below for details on these palettes. And I think that's it, guys. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, if you guys found this video useful, entertaining, or learned something, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this coffee break is over. Bye, guys.